Hello and welcome to the first episode of Just a Tad. I'm Michele Levine, and TADs are GFOA's mini courses, 10 minutes or less, on an accounting topic. This episode is about the trusts that some governments set up outside of a pension plan to accumulate resources for future contributions to the pension plan. We're going to quickly review the criteria to report pension and other post-employment benefit, or OPEB, plans as being operated through trusts rather than as non-trusted plans. And of course, we'll talk about why that's important. Then we'll explain why some governments in cost-sharing plans set up secondary trusts, external trusts, and the proper accounting and reporting for those trusts. Now, there are 4 fiduciary fund types, but we're really just considering the pension and other employee benefit trust funds, which is where a sponsoring government is going to report a trusted pension or OPEB plan if applicable. So mostly defined benefit plans, could be some defined contribution plans too. If the assets of a pension or OPEB plan are in a trust or an equivalent arrangement that meet these criteria, then we call the plans administered through a trust, or what I call a trusted plan. And those criteria are that the employer and non-employer contributing entities' contributions have to be irrevocable, right? No way to take it back. And the plan assets have to be legally dedicated to paying benefits to members, nothing else, and are protected from creditors. The plan, right, if these are not met, then even if the assets are held in a legally valid trust, they cannot be treated as trusted plans in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, or GAAP, right? So why do you care? Especially if you're not even the plan sponsor, you're just a contributing employer. Well, because for trusted plans, the employers get to report the pension or OPEB liability net of those trust assets. On the other hand, right, if you have a non-trusted plan where you don't meet those criteria, again, even if it's a legal trust, right, the post-employment benefit liabilities have to get reported in total, right, gross, on the employer's statement of net position. The assets, if any, also get reported in governmental or proprietary funds, right, not fiduciary funds, although they may meet the criteria as being restricted assets and reported in the restricted component of net position. So the essence of a cost-sharing multiple employer plan, such as those that many states sponsors for the employees of local governments, is that these assets are available to pay the benefits of all of the members, regardless of who the employer is and who the contributor is. Employers in cost-sharing plans, right, may have to report their proportionate share of a large net liability, and they don't have the option to make additional contributions that reduce just their own proportionate share of the liability, right, because all assets are available to pay all benefits. So rather than, or in addition to, directly making the currently required plan contributions, some employers have established legal trusts in which they can invest and use the monies to pay for contributions that they will be required to make in the future to their cost-sharing plans. The hope is, of course, that they are going to accumulate earnings on those assets that can be contributed. Now, originally, we saw most of these established in California by members of CalPERS, but now we're starting to see them in some other cases, and it's important to remember that what we're going to talk about next. These secondary trusts may well be irrevocable and protected, right? But the assets are not dedicated to paying benefits to members, right? They are dedicated to making future contributions to the plan that will then pay those benefits. So under GAAP, the assets of these secondary trusts cannot be treated like plan assets and further netted out of the government's proportionate share of the plan's net liability. That's it for this TAD. Please watch for future episodes of Just a TAD and email us if you want to suggest a topic for a future episode. Thank you.